Janet Gunn with Fearless Female with Elissa Goodman. Take one. Hi, I'm Janet Gunn here with Focus TV, and today my guest is Fearless Female Elissa Goodman. Elissa is a top holistic nutritionist. She is a cancer survivor and the author of the book Cancer Hacks. And today we are lucky to have her because she's going to share with us so much information, but also help us understand how important it is to take charge of our own health. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
I am so honored that you asked me to be here.
You are just full of incredible information, and I think that because of your journey, what you've been through, you choosing to write your book and do what you do and share your information with others has been such a gift for everybody and a real wake-up call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels like I have a passion and a purpose in life.
And that's important.
Oh, so amazing.
If you could take us back to the beginning, your journey that began all this.
Yes.
And what did it start with the routine checkup?
It really was what it started. I mean, I really kind of came into the world not super healthy. So it started with that. I had a low immune system and I got sick and got everything. Everything that came around, I was always sick. So I was kind of labeled as sick. And my mom and myself, I just never felt well. And I went to college, graduated, moved to New York, and was living a very crazy, fast-paced life in the marketing, advertising world. And of course, not sleeping and drinking and eating poorly and coffee and sugar and, you know, all the typical things you do in your 20s because you're invincible.
Of course.
Right? Like nothing's gonna, you know.
What's wrong with that? That sounds normal.
Exactly. I wish I could still do that. But I came to LA and I was having a massage, which was really interesting. I didn't feel like I had symptoms, but because I was never well, I'm not sure what those symptoms would have been. And the masseuse found a lymph node on my collarbone. And she said, you need to get this checked out. And I really didn't think much about it and went to the doctor and he said, this could be cancer before they even did a biopsy or anything on it, which was so scary. And then once I had the biopsy, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it was, and the way it was treated was the doctors scared the living daylights out of me.
I bet.
And I was only 32, no kids, just had gotten married, just moved to LA. So
That's so young.
it was so young.
So did you go from having the massage and right away did you go to the doctor?
Yes.
And
yeah.
did you continue to
scared.
follow up right away?
Yes, I did. And I went to see 3 different doctors because 2 of them really scared me with what they wanted to do in terms of treatment. And the third one was so amazing. This third man sat me down and he saw my scans and everything. And he said, you don't look happy. You look stressed. And when I had just moved here and I really didn't love LA and my husband didn't love LA and our jobs were, I thought I had a dream job. I was working for Vogue and it wasn't really the dream job. It was a lot of hard work. It was a little devil wears Prada.
Yeah, sort of. That's exactly what was going through my head. Like, I know that
movie.
I saw that movie.
And so I wasn't happy. And he was like, you know, it's an early stage. I think we can figure out how to treat this and change your lifestyle. And that was my big wake up call. I knew I had to change something because all my life I hadn't felt well. And here was the culmination of it.
Yeah.
Now I was diagnosed with cancer and I thought, and that word cancer makes us feel like we might die.
Yes, of course. It is that's the flag that sends off all the sirens. Yeah.
And it still does today.
Of course it does.
It's just that word.
Absolutely. Also, not only you, but then your husband,
Yes.
he was diagnosed with cancer.
11 years later, he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And again, went into the fear mode. The doctors his was a little farther along, but not by much. You know, it was stage 2, mine was stage 1. So, but everybody was terrified, including him. Yeah. So a year and a half into the battle of 2 bone marrow transplants at the City of Hope and lots of chemo and just never giving him a break to get his immune system back, or even having a break, I realize now, and that's kind of why I wrote the book, was that the fear was overwhelming. He never got a break from the fear.
Yeah.
People were coming to see him. They were terrified. The doctors were terrified. His parents were terrified. I was terrified. I feel like it was that fear. And you know how when your mind is in a fear-based mode,
Yes.
it's a bit toxic.
It is toxic. Well,
So-
because it picks up that momentum and then it just creates
Exactly.
double the fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We can't live in that place. And I see a lot of that in my practice, but I realized that I didn't have as much fear. When I was growing up, my mom like educated me a little bit in the health arena. She had asthma. So she took me to a place called Rancho La Puerta in Tecate, Mexico. And you know,
I've heard of it.
it's-
Yeah.
And it was ahead of its time. They had massages and yoga and meditation. They also grew their own food. So it was really healthy food. And you had to be there for 7 days, from a Saturday to a Saturday. And she took a group of women, and sometimes it was up to 15 women. And I watched these, and I was the youngest. I was 15, 17, 19. I went up probably 4 or 5 times. I absolutely hated it at that age.
I'm sure you did. It's like, why am I
Yeah,
here? I could be with my friends.
Totally. Eating sugar.
Eating sugar.
And, staying out late at night and not having her around. But I guess she did it for a reason. I mean, I really did see a change in these women. It was tremendous. At the end of the week, they were different women. They were happier. They were less depressed, less anxious. My mom didn't need her asthma medication as much. And so when I was diagnosed, I went back to those days and I did start trying to meditate, which is still difficult for me today because of my personality.
Sure.
But I did yoga and I started eating more plant-based. And I started juicing. I was a big juicer. There was a place called Beverly Hills Juice.
Yes.
It's still around.
I go there. Yeah.
And the first of its kind as well. So I did juice a lot of carrots and beets. It was not tasting as good as the juices today.
Yes.
But I think all of that saved me.
And then I know that your husband lost his battle.
Yes.
And then you have your 2 daughters. So you have your 2 children. And then how did you go from being a single mother with your 2 daughters? And how much time before you had an aha moment and said, I've got to share my knowledge with everyone else?
It took a couple years. I was a little bit in a big funk, not a little,
Oh.
a big funk for 2 years,
Sure.
just struggling, and my daughters are struggling. And I realized that I wasn't working also too, because he was working and I had stopped to raise the kids. And I was like, what am I going to do with myself? I need to go back out into the world. And I didn't want to go back into the world that I had been in. So I was sitting with a friend at lunch and she said, what are you passionate about? And I said, I love helping people. I love health. I want to do that. She goes, well, I'm not sure you're going to make very much money at that, but you should follow your passion. And I went back to school and got certified in both Eastern and Western holistic nutrition, which was fabulous for 2 years. So it was about a 4-year process after he passed away. And then Cafe Gratitude hired me to do their cleanse,
Great.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what am I going to do now? And I created a cleanse for them and did that for 3.5 years. And then in the interim of the Cafe Gratitude cleanse, M Cafe asked me to do their cleanse, which was more of how I eat, the macrobiotic way, and the hot and the cold, and
Right.
not just all raw vegan, because that's not really, it doesn't work for me.
Yes.
Personally. So, and I worked with Erewhon a little bit, and I do have juices at Erewhon because I love to juice.
Yeah.
There's a thyroid juice there and an immunity juice, and then I have a juice at LA Juice as
Okay.
well. So, but I have been very lucky, and I feel so grateful because that all propelled me into having the career that I do now. And
Well, I think for me, when I met you, because I met you at a luncheon,
That's
and I have your book. This is Elissa's book, and it's filled. I have some notes here, but it's filled with incredible information because there's so much information.
yes,
It's hard to know where to start. But I knew this. I mean, I had heard this, but what you really did for me is that you helped me kickstart is that one juice a day, a green juice a day, makes a huge difference.
There are some simple things like I
Yes.
think that's what you're getting at. There are some simple
Yes.
things to change our health. And that's one of them.
Yeah.
Without fruit, trying to go without the fruit,
Yeah.
because the fruit is really high sugar, and that sugar goes into your bloodstream really fast. So,
Yeah.
but yes, it's like a liquid vitamin. It's like a blood tonic. It also can help cleanse organs. And that's something I believe in on a consistent basis.
Yes. Well, obviously, and it's worked for you. You know, you've seen
Yeah.
incredible results. Do you see great results with your clients too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just teaching them how to cleanse on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be hardcore cleansing.
Right.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, I think too, some people may be a little frightened of the word cleanse. I mean, I think of that like, I don't know if I can do that for 7 days.
I'm gonna starve.
I gotta have to lock myself in my bathroom.
True. Right. Exactly.
Literally. But you
Right.
don't have to. That's not what it means. You
No.
can go about your day
It's
with your
really,
cleanse program, which is
Yes.
available on your website.
right. I created a soup cleanse a couple years ago. And yes, that word cleanse does scare people. And the soup cleanse still scares people because they're like, am I just going to drink soups and eat soups?
Yeah.
But I have taken my soup cleanse to the next level. You've been hearing souping is the new juicing.
Yes.
I bet for a couple of years. But my soup cleanse has like a detox tonic, a homemade protein bar, bone broth. It has salads 3 days a week, fermented veggies, different soups every day, lattes. It has Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds. I mean, I try to teach people how to just eat healthy for the 5 days, because you can reset your body in 5 days.
In 5 days.
You can totally reset. You can get your skin better. You can get your digestion better. You can sleep better.
When you're dealing with your clients, are there hurdles? Do you have a lot of hurdles? Do you have to reprogram their thinking?
Yes.
Or should I say, do you have to help reprogram their thinking?
It is a bit tricky, but over the years, it's been interesting. When I first started doing it, it was a lot more hurdles because I wasn't sure that people wanted to really get better. I didn't think that they were really committed. So it was frustrating. But I feel like now, as time has gone on, people that actually I attract, how the energy that we attract and what we put out there, more and more of them are really interested in getting better and healthier and know what it takes to get better.
And also with women, what is the number one suggestion that you would tell us?
Like, we don't take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else. And interestingly, our central nervous system was only meant to do one thing at a time. So here we are putting all this energy and out into the world, into our kids, into our husbands, into our family, right? Into our friends,
Yes.
our work,
Yes.
everything. And our central nervous system is getting just absolutely pummeled.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is getting it's very unhealthy. And so we are taking the brunt of everything. When the central nervous system isn't calm and working right, our adrenals don't work, our hormones don't work.
Yes.
We don't sleep. It's just like we just go downhill. So that is the most important thing. It's not selfish to take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
We think it's selfish.
You know what? That's the good takeaway right there. It is never selfish to take care of yourself.
We hold up the universe.
Yes.
Women are powerful.
Very powerful.
So how do we stay in our power? And how do we stay strong and healthy and have the energy? And I feel like it's a question that I'm so passionate about. Like, I'm in my mid-50s and I've never felt better in my life. But a lot of women coming to me are like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm never going to feel good. My kids are gone. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. Right. And I'm not sleeping and my sex drive is nil.
Yeah.
But they don't have a purpose and a passion. And I feel like we have so many more years to live in our life.
Yes.
Like if we turn 50, potentially we could have 50 more years,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So we need a purpose and a passion, and we need to get ourselves healthy and well and energized, because I think we can always reinvent ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
Yes. Well, I think the perfect start is to I really suggest your book, Cancer Hacks. There's just so much incredible information in here. So if you're overwhelmed or you don't know where to start or what to do, then I really recommend that you get your book. And your website is loaded with information.
Yes.
Your soup cleanse, your juice cleanse, you have any kind of program. Check out her website. Instagram, you can see these amazing recipes. I mean, it's just you're constantly giving all these all day, right? All day, but it's all for the better of our health and to help other women.
Right.
So, well, I always ask my guests before we wrap up, the one thing that a couple of things I'd like to know about you is that today, tell me what you're grateful for.
I'm grateful that I get to wake up every day and help women.
Yeah.
All kinds of women and men.
Yeah.
And teenagers and anybody.
Yes.
To, to have faith in themselves and to believe in themselves that they can be better.
And then what is something that we would never know about you?
There's a lot. I am a bit of a perfectionist. I guess I shouldn't say bit. I'm a perfectionist.
Okay.
And I struggle with trying to not always go there. It's funny. I was asking my fiance last night this question, and he's like, well, you should tell people you worked at SeaWorld when you were a teenager.
We don't like that.
I was like, that isn't really profound, like SeaWorld, but I did. As a teenager, I worked at SeaWorld.
I kind of like that.
So maybe that's a better one.
That's good. And when in the morning, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
The first thing I do is, I'm so mad at myself. I look at my phone.
Oh, Elissa.
I know. But I do it for a reason.
Okay.
There is a really, really dear friend of mine who's actually doing my soup cleanse this week called Waking Up, Ryan Weiss.
Oh, I get his emails.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yes.
So
I'm a subscriber.
I look at his email, I read it. I always feel like he's talking to me.
Got it. All right. That's okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
And then I put my phone down.
All right. That's worth it right there.
Yeah. Because he's so beautiful. He's so soulful.
Yeah, he is.
So.
And then if you could hold anybody's hand today, whose would it be?
It would probably be my father's. My father had an accident 4 years ago and had a lot of brain damage. And he's 89 today. Not today, but in this year. And he was brilliant entrepreneur, massively successful. And there wasn't anything he couldn't do. And there wasn't anybody who didn't love him. So I just want to hold his hand and say, thank you for giving me a lot of traits that he had in his life. He taught me so much. He taught me never to give up. And it's so valuable, and not to be afraid of what life throws your way. And I don't think he knows how grateful and thankful I am.
What is his name?
Carl.
Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Carl, I know you're flying around here somewhere, and I know that you just got that message. So
yes,
don't you worry. He knows. I know he knows. Well, we are lucky to have you. Thank you for being a guest. You are truly fearless, and I'm so grateful that I've met you. And thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.